What's up, guys? It's Hunter from Team Breakthrough, and today I'm trying a different setup. Before I was facing that way towards the sink, and today I decided to go ahead and change it up, and because the sink is really boring, and I wanted to see what would happen if I just faced the windows. But now I'm a little worried that the window is too bright. Tell me if it's okay. Tell me in the comments if it's okay. Right now it's a little after 1, and that the sun is just starting to hit that window. So tell me if I need to change it to a different time of day to make that a little better. And yeah. So anyway, let's get on into the video. Yesterday was my locals, and I got 3rd place. The only guy that beat me was the guy that got 1st, and then there was another guy that also went undefeated, but he didn't have a very good, the people that he beat didn't do very well. So yeah, I got 3rd place for that. I was playing Igknights, Igknight OTK, which actually I prefer the control variant. I don't like the OTK version, but it worked out really well. And the only reason I was playing the OTK variant was because with the stuff I had on me, I'm still missing 1 Tyrant's Throws, and I'm still missing 3 Summoner's Arts, and so I went ahead and replaced those with some chicken games, and the Tyrant's Throws with some other things, and that's just because I felt like the OTK variant with those would be better than the control version without the Summoner's Arts and the extra Tyrant's Throws. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So to start off with, you run 3 Crusader, 3 Squire, 3 Templar, 3 Paladin, 3 Margrave, and 3 Galleon. You just run 3 of all of the Igknights to capitalize on consistency. Next, you run 1 Rescue Hamster and 3 Royal Magical Libraries. This is really good in the OTK version, not so much the control version that I prefer, but the OTK version, this works really well. If you see it, it's awesome. You can still OTK without it, but it's a lot harder. The reasoning behind using it in the OTK variant and not the control variant is because in the control variant, you're planning on going more than 1 turn. In the OTK variant, you're not. And every turn you're drawing is a turn you could draw Royal Magical Library, and if you draw it after your 1st turn, it's basically a dead draw, because you're gonna get most of your advantage off of this card on your 1st turn. So you don't really want to run a card that you don't really want to run 3 of a card that that's gonna be a dead draw after the 1st turn. So yeah, that's all for the monsters. Next, for spells, we have 3 Reinforcement of the Army, 3 Upstart Goblin, those are for consistency, and then 1 Regeki, 2 Dark Holes, and 3 MST. The way OTK decks work is that you want to run 3 of cards that you want to see in your 1st turn, and then 1 or 2 of cards that you don't really care as much to see in the 1st turn. The ones that are more supporting, you run 1 or 2 of. But you really want to see this because you don't like back row. A Mirror Force basically stops this deck, and so does something like a Solemn Warning or Bottomless Trap Hole. Those basically just make this deck auto lose. So you want to be able to get rid of them with MST. And now for field spells, we have 3 Chicken Game, and then I wanted 3 more field spells for this deck. Because I wanted to be able to get rid of Chicken Game if I needed to, so I ran 1 Ignition Phoenix and 2 Necro Valley. The 2 Necro Valley, I would have preferred to have been 2 more Ignition Phoenixes, but the deck was kind of put together last minute, so these are the only field spells I had on me, and I really wanted to run 2 more field spells in addition to the MSTs, so that I could make sure that I would get rid of the Chicken Games. Now for the extra deck, we have now this extra deck is really built for the control variant, and I just kind of used it for this. And that is 1 number 86 win condition. This is really good in the control variant, not so much in the OTK. The OTK variant, you're typically, if you're going into your extra deck, you're either going for Excalibur or Blade Armor Ninja, which you run one of each of those. Obviously, Excalibur is to get over something big. Blade Armor Ninja is to get a lot of damage on board. I actually also played this against a Shaddoll Clown player, and that was just to make sure that as many attacks got through as possible with his damage jugglers. So then, one Karen Gorgon. I made this once because I was forced to go first, and I wanted to make sure my scales stayed on the field. And then for generic rank 4s, we have one Castell, one Exciton Knight, one Abyss Dweller, one Diamond Dyer, one Emerald, and one Cowboy. Cowboy is really good because a lot of times you'll get down to 800 or less life points for your opponent, and you just need to get that last little bit in there, and this helps you do that. And then for Necros, I was running a Masquerade, and I never actually ran into it, so oh well. And then for rank 3s, we have one Acid Golem and one Zen Mains. This is just in case I was forced to go first, so I could go into a rank 3 play. And the Acid Golem is to get over big things when I want to use my level 4s for something else. And then your last two are one Volcasaurus and one Hazy Flame Basiltrice for your 5 and 6. Now for the side deck, we have two Majesty's Fiend because your monsters don't have effects and everything else does. And you never actually use your normal summon unless you're summoning the Royal Magical Library. And other than that, you might summon the Hamster, and that's really all you're going to do. And it's really easy to get out Tribute Fodder. So yeah. And then next is two Artifact Lancia for Necros, Infernoids, anything that likes to banish, Ritual Beast, anything like that. Then two Dinkos, two Flying Seas for anything Exceed based, which I never actually played, so I didn't get to use it. And then three Royal Decrees for Trap Hate, two Debunk. This works really well against Shaddolls, Necros, Infernoids, anything like that. And then I was trying out two Horn of Heaven instead of the Black Horn of Heaven, because this also covers normal summons. But otherwise it works the same way as Black Horn, it's just inherent summons. And you might as well just run Black Horn and not have to tribute anything, because normal summons typically you're not really worried about. So I just wanted to try it out to see how that worked. I'd say in Infernoids it might be a better card to use than Blackhorn, just because then you can stop the Decatron or Raiden or something. So yeah. So things that would change about the deck are you really want the three Summoners Arts. So for that, I would say cut one MST, one Chicken Game, and one of the Necro Valleys. And then other than that, I would say really just cut the other Necro Valley for another Ignition Phoenix. So that would leave you with two Ignition Phoenix, two Chicken Game, and then three Summoners Arts. And that's really all I would change in the main deck. The Necro Valleys would then go into the side deck for anything that likes to do stuff with the graveyard, like Necros or Infernoids. This actually wrecked an Infernoid player, but anyway, then I would say for the side deck, side a third Dinko, and I would say for the third Dinko, I would say put in the take out one of the Royal Decrees, because they do the same thing, and Dinko's a monster. And then you want to put the two Necro Valleys in. Put those in over the other two Royal Decree, because you have three Dinkos. There's no need for the three Royal Decrees. And And then the Horn of Heavens, I would say just run the Black Horns. They do the same thing, and you don't have to tribute it. The Horn of Heaven is just good to be able to get rid of a normal summon. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Don't forget to tell me what you think about the new setup. Is the window too bright? Is it just fine? Is this more interesting to look at, or would you prefer to look at my sink and the dirty dishes and stuff in it? But yeah, other than that, that's all I have for today. This has been Hunter from Team Breakthrough. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say about it, please leave that in the comments section for me. And please subscribe to Team Breakthrough for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. See you next time. Au revoir.